Hi, I'm Em, and this is the Ewe Up vlog. Hello, welcome back. It has been a hot minute. I have lots to catch you up on, and lots of plans moving forward. I am also wearing like the hottest sweater in my collection. So if I get more and more flushed throughout the video, just know I am overheating. It's maybe time to put this one aside until next winter, but we'll see. So first and foremost, to anybody who was previously subscribed, I am really sorry for my long absence. I won't go into too much detail, but there were a lot of things going on. So I think in my last video I had mentioned that I started a new job, and I kind of gave myself permission to let go of my filming schedule a little bit while I adjusted to the new work hours and everything like that. And then I had planned on getting back to YouTube, and unfortunately I had two family members pass very close together. So as much as knitting is a balm to me, and as much as I love the community and support that I found on the internet, I definitely needed to cut back a little bit. So I took a break from filming these long videos. I just focused on creating, focused on finding small pockets of joy. I was still sharing on Instagram, but I didn't put too much pressure on myself. And now we're in a new year, we're at a fresh start. I feel like life is returning to normal a little bit, fingers crossed. So I thought it would be a good time to pick this back up. So thank you so much for your patience. And thanks for sticking around, and hello to anybody who's new here. I'm Em, a knitter and knitwear pattern designer in Canada. And this is my cozy little corner of the internet where I talk through my projects, my project plans, my designs, stash acquisitions, all the fun things. I am hoping to get back into somewhat of a schedule, but again, I'm not gonna be pushing myself too hard. So I'm not gonna make any promises on video frequency, but I'm hoping that things will kind of pick up again. So I kind of flip-flopped for this video, like should I do a belated everything that I made in 2024? Should I just dive in? I have so many ideas for videos going forward, but I kind of wanted to start fresh. So we're gonna treat this like a regular episode. I'm gonna go through recent finished objects, projects that I'm working on, and maybe a couple of mentions of patterns, my patterns. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And I mean, first and foremost, I've already kind of mentioned it, this is the warmest sweater in my collection, but it's also a recent finished object, recent in the grand scope of things. I finished this, I think around the end of October, early November-ish. This is the Aureliano sweater designed by Claudia Quintanilla, and it is in the book Memory Lane, which was released, I think in December? No, I can't remember when it was released. Fall, winter 2024. And this pattern was actually gifted to me as part of the promotion for the book, and then I also received the book, which is super kind of Claudia and her team, and I can't wait to do a full review for you that is slated for the next mini-episode because it's gorgeous. So the Aureliano sweater is a circular yoke, all over color work, 2 strands of mohair held together throughout, or I guess 2 strands of any lace weight fluffy yarn. I've used a mix of mohair silk and Surrey silk. So it's lush, it's hot, and I love it. I love how the colors came out. This is actually a full stash dive. All of the yarn in here was previously in my stash. I did have to supplement some of this dark red main color. I didn't have quite enough, so I did have to purchase a couple extra balls of that, but overall it was pretty great. Felt really proud of myself for digging through the stash. Some of these are like really old stash acquisitions, so it felt really good to breathe new life into them and finally put them to use. I love knitting this. The color work was addicting, and watching the motifs appear just kept me going, one more row, okay, one more row, okay, one more row. And yeah, I'm so happy with how it turned out. The one thing I will say, having not knit a ton of circular yokes, I do wish I had sized up one. You can tell it's kind of snug right around my shoulders. I do have decently wide shoulders for my frame. So like, while I like the amount of ease in the body and through the bust, just right around this upper shoulder, upper bust area, it's a little bit snug. And of course with the color work, the bloom wasn't quite as free as it would be just in a solid color. So I next time would maybe size up for myself, just to give myself a little extra wiggle room around the shoulders, because I don't like when the neck kind of creeps up too high. And maybe I just need to give it a more aggressive block, who knows. But apart from that, I am super happy with it. I love the colors. I love this color palette. Like, I think I might need to add a few more sweaters in this kind of color zone into my wardrobe. Yeah, I couldn't say anything more about this. Like, it's really just, it's fuzzy, it's warm, it's comforting. And apart from that slight fit issue, which I put firmly on my own shoulders, no pun intended. Apart from that issue, I love how it turned out, and I'm excited to wear it more. It was a really warm winter here, actually, compared to previous winters. So this didn't get quite as much use as it normally would have, because lately, I've been running a little bit warm, and primarily, like, I work indoors. I spend a lot of time hanging out with friends over the winter indoors, so you know, I just didn't get as much wear because it is so warm. It is like your own personal heating pad, which is great, but it also makes it a little hard to wear during the warmer months. So I'm sure you guys will see a lot more of this come next winter, but for now, I'll just stare at it every time I open my knitwear drawer. Okay, next up I have some more finished objects. They've kind of been piling up. I've been doing a lot of accessory knitting, and I don't actually have all of my finished objects because some of them were baby gifts and they've already been sent off to their new home. If you want more details on that, you can check out my Instagram account or my Ravelry project pages, and you'll find all of the details there. For now though, I'll just jump into my other finished objects that I actually do have on hand, starting off with these mittens that I made for myself. These are another stash busting scrappy project. I'm really trying to work through my stash this year, and I know I say that every year, but I've got like a solid plan this year, so fingers crossed I can stick to it. But I am also trying to use up all of the odds and ends that are left over from other projects, and these mittens were born from that. I had some wool and some mohair from 2 separate projects, and I thought, why not put them together for some cozy mittens. These are the World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern, and I honestly didn't really follow the pattern. I kind of just used it as a template, and I came up with the numbers that best fit my hand, because I just wanted to make sure that these mittens were a perfect fit. And I couldn't be happier. They came in so handy this winter. They are cozy and warm and a good neutral. They kind of go with everything. And I kind of got over my fear of mitten knitting. Which is to say, it's not a fear, but early on in my knitting days, I decided to knit a pair of mittens, and I absolutely hated the experience. I don't even think I finished the mittens, and ever since then I was like, I will knit pretty much anything, but no mittens. And then I don't know, I just had, well, I cast on some mittens out of some scrap yarn for my nephew, to match a little hat that I had knit him, and I was like, oh, this actually isn't so bad. And then I just had the urge to cast on a pair for myself, and I'm so happy I did. These knit up super quick. They were a really easy project and super satisfying because they knit up so quickly, and then I got to wear them right away. I don't even think I blocked them. I think they just went straight into use. So I do see some more mittens in my future. It's a great way to use up some scrap yarn. And the great thing about the World's Simplest the World's Simplest Mitten pattern is Tin Can Knits has prepped you for basically any weight of yarn. So you can really maximize your use of that pattern, and I certainly will going forward. Okay, so next up, it is time for a little shameless self-promotion, because I'm gonna tell you all about my recently published pattern, the False Creek Cowl. This was born out of wanting to knit my partner something cozy out of a special skein of yarn from Pigment and Pline, and his is the original. I knit it like 2 years ago, and everybody really loved it. I was not initially planning on making it a pattern, but I had so many comments saying like, oh my gosh, my husband would love this, or oh, that looks so cozy, I wish I could knit this. So I just made it into a pattern. This is my sample, the one that I made for myself. It is also in Pigment and Ply. I reached out to Jessica when I started knitting this pattern up to see if she would want to work with me on it, and she very kindly said yes, and she put together a little mix and match selection for my testers. So this is her, I think this is her 75-25 merino sock yarn on the front in Over Honeyed Cakes from her, what was the collection? Not Romantics, not Renaissance. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking? What is it called? Pre-Raphaelite. Oh my god. Oh, my art history professors would be so disappointed in me for forgetting that. Anyway, this is Over Honeyed Cakes from her Pre-Raphaelite collection. And then on the inside, I have Wilding Muse, which is this gorgeous, slightly variegated olive green Surrey silk lace, which, side note, I am obsessed with Surrey silk lace. It is so much more luxe than any mohair I have ever worked with, so I'm fully in camp Surrey silk lace. Not that I won't use mohair, but there is a favorite child there for sure. So I think Wilding Muse was also from the Pre-Raphaelite collection. This is exactly the color that I had envisioned for a False Creek cowl for myself. So I'm really, really glad that I was able to get my hands on some. And I'll put it on. Obviously it doesn't go with my sweater, but like, we'll see. I'm gonna have to fix my hair, so here it is. Just ignore that it doesn't really go with the sweater. It's very busy, but I actually made this cowl slightly longer. I knit the size 1 for this, and I just knit a slightly longer body just to give it that extra cozy factor, but it's got a fully working drawstring, so you can really cinch it up close to your chin for those extra chilly days. The double lining is so cozy. I have been wearing this so much. We've had a really wet, rainy, chilly March, and when I initially put this pattern out, it came out beginning of March. I'm filming this like the last couple days of March, and it'll be going live first week of April, I think. So just to give you an idea of timeline here, I thought, oh my God, we're going into spring. Who wants a fuzzy insulated double line cowl? Turns out me. I was so grateful to have this in my wardrobe for the super rainy spring, wearing this on like hikes up in the forested areas, wearing it around town. It's easy on, easy off. It's very lightweight, but very warm. Tucks right into a jacket. Oh, it has been such a good wardrobe addition. So I'm really glad that I did end up making this a pattern so that you can all knit yourself one as well. And they make great gifts. It comes in 2 sizes. You need 1 skein of fingering and 1 skein of fluffy lace weight for both sizes, or either size, I should say. So it's perfect for stash busting. It's perfect for those special skeins you've been hanging on to, and it makes quite an affordable gift as well. So there will be a link down below to go to the pattern page where you can purchase yourself one, and please tag me in your photos. Please use the hashtag. I love seeing all of the color combinations that everybody has come up with for their cowls. Okay, I'm definitely overheating a little bit, so I'm gonna try and speed through a few more things. I don't have too much more to talk about, but yeah, I'm gonna try to hurry up just a little bit so I don't sweat through this sweater. This next project is again a scrappy stash buster and a very recent finished object. This is my two-toned The Simple Thing shawl, which is a free pattern. Mine is slightly modified. I wanted to maximize the yarn that I had, so I did do the increases at a slower rate than the pattern calls for. This olive green is what sparked this project. It is the leftover Wilding Muse Surrey Silk Lace from Pigment and Ply from my Falls Creek cowl. And then some beautiful alpaca, I think it's 100% alpaca, from Pickles Norway that I used to knit a sweater all the way back in 2018. And I had 20 grams remaining. And the colorway Tarragon ended up being an almost perfect match to Wilding Muse. So I started in on that, and I knew having only 20 grams of the Tarragon alpaca from Pickles Knit, or Pickles Norway, I don't know what their official name is, I knew that it wouldn't get very far. So I was playing around with either making a really mini one or adding in another color. And then I remembered that I had a skein of beautiful purpley pink variegated merino bamboo, and oh my goodness, but I'll have to double check that, that I had picked up at Knit City, Vancouver in 2019. These skeins go way back, and that just shows you how long I've had some of the skeins in my stash. And I thought, ooh, that goes so nicely. Like, lavender, lilac, and olive are a perfect combo in my mind. They will never go out of style. Like, just look at that. I'm realizing this is like a really kind of weird color combo with the sweater in the background, but hey ho. And then I had some leftover Surrey silk lace from Marlowe's. The Midnight Sol is what it's called. And that's leftover from the False Creek cowl that my mom ended up adopting. It was the faded cowl sample from the original False Creek cowl photo shoot. I'll pop a photo up here so you can see it. Anyway, that Marlowe's Midnight Sol was used as the lining, and it's actually in this sweater as well. Let me see if I can, what's the best way to show you? So it's this middle colorway right here. I don't even know. This is probably the most awkward. I don't have like any way to see what the screen is seeing because I'm prioritizing. I just film on my phone. I'm prioritizing using the better camera, so the back camera rather than the front facing camera. So I don't have a screen. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Hopefully you got the idea. So yeah, this is mostly a stash busting scrappy one because 3 of the 4 yarns used were scraps. And then that skein from Knit City, the main kind of variegated merino bamboo color here, was the skein that I had been holding on to because I loved the color so much. I wanted it to go to something really special. And this is a goal that I have for my this is a goal that I have for my stash this year, is to stop holding on to skeins for that one perfect project. There are so many beautiful things that I can make with any of the yarns in my stash. And I feel like I get so in my head holding on to certain skeins, whether it's because there's a strong memory attached, or because I bought it on a whim and I didn't really know what to do with it, or because I'm waiting for that elusive perfect pattern for it. And I had this kind of realization where I'm kind of wasting the yarn in a way. And I'm only saying this for myself. It is up to everybody to decide how they use their skeins, but I felt like I was just kind of like putting them to waste, having them just sit there. So one of my goals this year is to really use my yarn and not fuss over whether or not it is the quote unquote perfect project. I will get so much more enjoyment out of knitting these beautiful yarns and putting them to good use and creating something special out of them than just having them sit there. As pretty as they are as a backdrop in our home, I do want to use them. So that's how this lovely little scarf shawl baby happened, and I couldn't be happier. I've already worn it so many times. Again, this didn't even get blocked. It was being worn from the get-go. It didn't even get blocked. That's okay. I'm super happy with it, and I'm obsessed with garter stitch now. Like, this really fueled the obsession. So, speaking of stash busting, using up scraps, and being obsessed with garter stitch, let's move on to whips. The first one that I'm going to show you is another Simple Things shawl. And it is using, oh my god, the rest of that beautiful purple merino bamboo. Uh-oh. Come here. Oh, good boy. Hi. Oh, a nice fluff. What a good boy. Such a good boy. Quick kitty break. So this next project that I'm going to show you is using up the remainder of that beautiful purpley pink skein from Ancient Arts Fiber Company, something like that. This is that Knit City skein that I've been saving and I cracked into, and it looks really small because I am quite a ways into this second project. So I thought, well, I'm on the garter stitch train. I have this beautiful yarn. Why don't I just start another shawl? So this one you can see is already quite a bit bigger. I am just knitting through this until this is gone and all used up. And this time you'll notice this one seems a lot pinker because I have a skein of thrifted, or I guess not a skein, a cake of thrifted bubblegum pink mohair that I'm holding with it. And it's just one of those really great potato chippy, not difficult patterns that I've been loving taking with me to weekend coffee shop hangs and just slowly working away on. I think as much as I love this color combo, I think this is gonna end up being a gift knit. Oh, what's up? What's up? I'm not giving you enough attention? I think this will end up being a gift, and that makes me so happy. So yeah, not too much to say. I am doing the same modification that I did with my other Simple Thing shawl, just doing a slower rate of increases to maximize length for the amount of yarn that I have. And I'm loving it. I can't wait to see it finished and given to somebody that I love and care about. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on Instagram. I'm sure I'll be updating this on there at some point. Hopefully not when it's just finished, but you know, trying. If you see me holding my arm up awkwardly, it's because the cat is right here and I don't want to poke him because he's so happy. Next up is another garter stitch project, and this, okay, let's back up. Let's slow down. Part of my goal of using up my stash is not adding to my stash. Have I stuck to that goal? Not a bit. Not even a tiny bit. There is so much new yarn in my stash. I have a problem, I really do. But for this project, I actually just didn't have any stash yarn for the weight required and the yardage required for this project, and I really wanted to make this project. This is the Midland cardigan, and I'll just show you, it doesn't look like much right now, but this is the beginning stage of it. It's garter stitch. It's got a really nice line that goes up. I think it goes the entire way up the sleeve along the shoulder. I, again, am just really obsessed with garter stitch right now. And I picked out this beautiful golden color of Dererum Natura. I think I'm using Ulisse. And it's been a great knit. This sweater has two possible constructions, or this cardigan, I should say. It has a seamless version and a seamed version. And originally I cast on for the seamless version, and that was making zero sense in my brain. I just couldn't figure it out. And I think, no fault to the pattern, I think my brain is just being used for much different tasks throughout the day at work. And so by the end of the day, when I have my knitting time, my brain just has zero juice left. So I was not making heads nor tails of it. I still wanted the cardigan, so I took it apart. Oh my. Took it apart and cast on for the seamed version. As much as I don't like seaming, it'll be worth it. So this is the shoulder. You can kind of see it's gonna have a slight drop shoulder effect. My cables aren't really long enough to stretch it out. It should really bloom as well, so it'll have kind of a slightly oversized, slightly boxy fit, which I love. And I think this color is going to be amazing for like a wardrobe staple. it might not seem like it, but I feel like this golden, honey, mustardy kind of color will transcend any season and become a really versatile piece. So I don't have a ton to say at the moment. The pattern is very well explained and well written, despite my inability to focus my brain on it and make head nor tails of it. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying the process. It's really nice to just do garter stitch primarily. That's kind of it. I'll keep you guys updated as I go. I'm really excited for this to get to the point where I can like properly kind of try it on and see how it's looking. And yeah, I will keep you guys updated as we go, because again, the plan is to get back to more regularly scheduled vlog episodes. So you'll be seeing a lot more of this, I think. Okay, that brings us to almost the end. I have one more works in progress to show you, and it's a very exciting work in progress. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen this reveal, but for anybody who doesn't, I have a new pattern on the way, and it's almost ready for testing, and it is the False Creek socks. This isn't blocked yet, so don't judge it quite yet, okay? I don't like blocking my socks until I have both, because then I can really make sure that the lengths are as close to perfectly exact as possible between both socks. So I like to block at the end. So the first one is unblocked still. I just couldn't get enough of the slip stitch motif on the False Creek cowl. These are not double lined. I am not that crazy. These are just a regular sock with a heel flap and gusset and a wedge toe, but I love it. I flew through these. I've already got, this is where the whip comes in, because there was no second sock syndrome here. I, at the point of filming this, have just finished the heel turn, and I'm working through the gusset decreases. By the time this video goes up, I'm hoping this sock is finished and blocking. And I'm super excited about it. There's 5 sizes. I will be putting a test call out. Instagram and YouTube will be updated with that test call, so keep your eyes here. Keep watching if you want to test knit. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. There's really no more to say about it at this point in time. This is knit in the Flock 2024 Flock Fiber Festival exclusive from Seismic Yarn. It's called Flock Tua, and oh my gosh, these speckles are scrumptious. There's really no other word for it. I love it. This purple and orange, and it made me laugh because currently I have a very cohesive knitting palette. Like, look at that. Maybe that'll be my, just kidding, the red kind of, I feel like the red doesn't really go. But yeah, I am super happy with how these turned out. I am really hopeful that the test pattern is as fault-free as possible. In my last 2 test knits, almost immediately some math questions were brought up. So hopefully I've done it correctly this time. I am slightly numerically dyslexic and my numbers do flip around sometimes. But I'm so happy with how these are turning out, and I can't wait to knit up a second sample and eventually knit a sample up for myself. For now, I'm knitting these for other people. Eventually I'll end up with some. Yeah. So, Falls Creek socks coming sometime this spring. I'm hoping to get the test call up by like second week of April and have testers started by the end of April. So if you'd like to test knit this project, please keep your eye up for that tester call and make sure that you sign up. I have had the immense luck of having wonderful test knitters for both of my recent test knits, and I am very excited to be getting together another test group, and it's like kind of having a party for your knits. It's great. I really enjoy it, and everybody brings such a great attitude and so much excitement and support for each other. I love the little like mini community of a test knit. There we go, we made it. I am only slightly overheated and it feels so good to be back and filming another video for you all. I really look forward to the year ahead. Hopefully I will get back into a more steady uploading schedule. No promises, because there is quite a bit of travel happening this year again, so it might be a little sporadic here and there, but the goal is to get slightly more streamlined, slightly more regular. So do hit the follow button here if you would like to see more. Let me know if there are any videos in particular you would like to see. I am going to do a book review. I'm going to do a continental knitting tutorial, which is kind of wild to me. I feel like I'm not a good enough knitter to be filming tutorials, but that was highly requested. So of course I will deliver at some point. And I have a couple other mini-sodes kind of planned, maybe a stash tour, although I'm looking behind the camera at my stash and that would probably be like a 4-hour long video. So maybe I have to knit through a little bit of my stash before I do that. Let me know if there is anything in particular you would like to see. Do follow me over on Instagram if you want slightly more frequent updates. I typically post 4 days a week over there, and I am just so grateful for you all for tagging along on this fiber journey, and I really look forward to creating more fun things for you and connecting more with you. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.